And that's what we see in Revelation 6:3-4, which says, "And when he had opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, 'Come and see.' And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword." Now, the second beast, the second seraphim that we saw, invites John to view the events that unfold after the opening of the second seal. And so the second seal we see brings war and death, as depicted by the red horse and the second horseman of the apocalypse. And so instead of peace, the Antichrist ushers in global or world wars through the now global military-industrial complex as nation turns against nation, right? It is just possible that these ongoing endless wars will not end until the Antichrist comes promising a false peace which he will not deliver. That would be if now is that time. You know, we don't know for certain when that time is. God could stay his hand of judgment and have mercy on the nations. But if we're in that time now, you know, these wars will not end until these endless wars propagated by the military-industrial complex will not end until Antichrist comes promising a false peace. 1 Thessalonians 5:3 says, "For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape." And so there's the birth pangs that we'll see later in Matthew 24 as well. But the Antichrist comes promising peace, but he delivers instead death and hell upon the earth. Just complete chaos and mayhem and destruction. Now remember, the tribulation, as I talked about way back in Revelation 1, is the wrath of the Antichrist upon the church and upon God's people and God's creation. The tribulation period, as is commonly taught, is not God's wrath. You know, God's wrath comes after the tribulation, once the church is raptured. And that's what we'll see in Matthew 24. And this is what most people don't understand. The tribulation period is not God's wrath. These are two separate events that are frequently conflated with one another into one, big 7-year period. People teach, a lot of pastors teach that the entire, the seals, the trumpets, the vials, the whole book of Revelation is a 7-year tribulation, and, that they're going to go through all of it. But we see a separate distinction between the period known as the Great Tribulation and God's wrath. God's wrath, as we'll see as we get into Revelation, further into the book of Revelation, God's wrath will begin in Revelation chapter 8 with the blowing of the first trumpet. When the trumpet sounds, that's when the wrath of God begins. The seals, however, are just an unraveling, a revelation. They're opening the seals and showing us what's about to come.